The National Academy of Sports Medicine defines active recovery as, quote, a way to promote delivering nutrients to your muscles so that they can recover and heal at a faster rate than if you were sitting on the couch. In today's video, I'm going to show you what myself and CT State Powerlifting Champion and IFA World's Arm Wrestling Champion, Nick Stone, do for our active recovery workouts. Let's get into it. What is this strange exercise? An arm wrestler might ask. No, it's not some kind of flop press trainer. We're doing front squats, and it's one of the best examples of a compound exercise. Remember, the goal here is to get the body moving, get the blood flowing, and you'd be hard pressed to find a single muscle that isn't doing something during a squat, and that is why we like to kick things off with it. Next up, Nick put some fat grips on a barbell for us to do deadlifts with. His channel's in the description, by the way. Fat grips are a relatively cheap and easy way to make any exercise where you're using your hands into an arm wrestling exercise. They make the bar much harder to hold, and it doesn't have to be a barbell. You can really put it on anything, and it really makes you use your hand. So yeah, nothing fancy here, just normal deadlifts, and we do hold it at the top for a second because again, we really want to put emphasis on the hand here. This was a fun one, just some vertical jumps, really trying to train that explosiveness, which you're going to want on the go on an arm wrestling match, right? You can train your body to be quicker on the gun, and that's something we're doing here, and also has the benefit of really getting the blood flowing. Next, we did some reverse hypers, popularized by Louis Simmons of Westside Barbell, and these are really going to get your lower back and your glutes going. From there, we move on to some more familiar territory for arm wrestlers. We're doing some radial deviation or riser. Here we have a towel attached to some weight and very small movement, really just training the upper end of that range of motion. And again, holding it at the top, really just trying to focus on the muscles responsible for the riser. This actually served as a reminder why it's important to have a training partner sometimes, because they can audit your lifts. Here, I was using a little too much post to my brachialis. I was raising my forearm too much, taking some of the load off of my riser. So Nick pointed that out, and I was quick to make it just a riser exercise. Of course, we had to get some supination in, turning the palm upwards, and we'll balance that out with some pronation training later. Always remember to train every muscle and its opposite. Every flexor has an extensor, so if you're training wrist flexion, make sure you train wrist extension. If you're doing supination, make sure you train pronation, etc. Arguably more dangerous than having weak muscles is having imbalances like that. Of course, we had to have some wrist flexion in there. This one was actually tough because we're using the country crush with just one hand, and it's a heavy apparatus and not a lot of weight on the pulley. So you really had to stabilize with your hand while also doing that wrist flexion motion. As promised, we did some pronation training, and slow and controlled is the name of the game here. Finally, like I just talked about, we did some wrist extension. We of course did wrist flexion earlier, and we also took this, I think it's like 2-pound dumbbell, and did some rotations with it to get full range of motion with that wrist. Huge shout out to Nick for having me over. Once again, his channel is in the description. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. I put out multiple videos every week, ranging from arm wrestling exercises to talking about events. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.